Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyper Roll with Artark and the start of the Underground Trilogy. Believe me, it's going to end with a bang. Let's start with the graphic. Come on, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, help the channel grow, stuff. Weekends, lives. We're going to try to do set 9 if it'll let us. Who knows? Maybe it's working now, maybe it's not, but we're all eagerly awaiting it. And with that said, let's get started. Now, Underground is a build I've been wanting to do all season because there is something fun about getting a build where you kind of have to make a change at some point because the build itself isn't strong, but what it creates is strong. And we'll talk about that while I hem and haw over what to pick here. I'm going to end up with Jeweled Lotus. But the whole concept of Underground is you're using it to try to get lots and lots of items, and then at some point you're going to dump most, if not all, of your Underground champions and move over to something else. Often threats is a good way to go. This one is one that my kid would call threat mishmash because it's got some threats, it's got some other stuff going on, but in the beginning, we didn't know what this was going to be. Now, I wanted to do Undergrounds because the chat kept requesting it, but you want as many rounds as possible with Underground champions, and missing any one of them is going to make it harder to get the big rewards. So I was a little inclined against it at this point since I didn't get anything for this particular round. Now, I've 2-starred the Kale and brought in a Vi, which is going to tick Brawler, so it's going to make Renekton a little bit stronger. If I can win this round, then there's some hope to continue with Underground because I'm not starting as far behind as I otherwise would have. Managed to find Sona in 4-1, so put her in, locked for the Ezreal as well, but we now have Underground. And at this point, we are very likely to lose streak because in reality, there isn't much synergy within the Underground champions, so you're a little more likely to lose. For item choices right now, I want to pick up the bow, and the reason is, and it's the reason I'm holding on to Morgana, I would like to create a Rage Blade and Static Shiv on Morgana for later in the match. But for now, we say goodbye to Renekton, except the fact that we're going to lose, but now we have 4 Undergrounds, so we'll get more rewards. Now, unlike the set 9 trait Piltover, where you kind of have to lose in order to power it up, you don't have to lose an Underground. You can win and still get rewards, you're just not going to get them as quickly. In this case, we're just going to lose because our team isn't strong. And it's time for our second augment, and I'm really hoping for hero augments and specific hero augments, and there it is right in the center, Unrelenting Force. This will allow Vi to become really, really tanky and might enable us to win some matches along the way so we're not in such a frantic situation when it gets down towards the end of the game. Now, this here is a key difference between Underground in Ranked and Underground in Hyper Roll. In Ranked, if you can get it so that you lose, but there's only one opposing champion left on the board, that's essentially a win because you're not going to lose very much. In Hyper Roll, you're losing set amounts, so it is 2 health no matter how many are left. So even though that was a good loss, it didn't matter for this. Now, we've 2-starred the Morgana and put her in, and I'm really hoping for a Tear of the Goddess, which is what I get. The reason for it is when Morgana hits people, she reduces their armor and magic resist. That's part of her ability. And it will proc along with the Static Shiv. So with the Rage Blade and Static Shiv, she's going to be hitting often and reducing the opposing team's magic resist and armor. Now, with Underground, you're in a constant battle between playing for now and playing for late game, much more so than really any other comp, because you're going to have to make decisions that are going to impact late game, such as the champs you want on your bench, like I have Aurelion Sol here, or when to grab items. Anima Visage and Ionic Spark, fantastic items, but they are not going to really tilt the balance of this game, so we let them go. Bring in the Samira to bring us to the 5 Underground. we still have a loss left in us. We can lose one more before the situation is desperate. So we have an augment to look at before then, and we'll get to figure out how we're going to do this. Final augment, Thrill of the Hunt, easy pickup. Gonna miss that one. It's not part of set 9. Now we are setting up Aurelian Soul to come into this match. It's not going to be this round, but it will be in the future. We're also setting up Vi to be more of a tank up front so she can get more and more powerful. Once we get the right reward out of the underground, it's going to be time to make the switch as fast as possible. Now, because we went up to the 5 underground, win or lose after this round, we're going to get a big haul. Hopefully it's the one I'm looking for. If we lose, we're down to 4 health. If we win, we stay at 8 and actually have 2 lives left going into the next stage. So let's see what haul we're offered, and if it has the Tactician's Crown, I am taking it. It's time to cut and run, but it's going to fill everything up really quickly, and we have to figure out what's staying and what's going. And one of the tricks with hyper roll is it happens really fast, so you don't necessarily get to make all the change you want, but I am able to get in the ultimate Ezreal and Samira to create Sure Shot both of them with Deathblade. Now, in essence, you don't need Underground anymore, but given that I got the ultimate Ezreal, it's going to be good to keep regular Ezreal, and it's going to be good to keep Samira, and Vi is our champion with the augment, so we're going to keep 3 Underground pretty much no matter what. Item choices here, we're just looking to enhance everything we have. Infinity Edge, well, that's now fixed on Samira, so we can put that on her since she's up at 2 stars. We can go ahead and grab the Bramble Vest for Rammus because, again, that's just a fantastic item for him since his damage scales off his armor. We're looking for what else we can fill in. We don't need 4 Underground. Sona can come out at some point, and so we can go ahead and put Urgot in, and now we have a lot more power coming out of our backline. And this is often the place where Underground goes horribly wrong for me. I think I've got everything in place. I've got the champions I want. I have a decent frontline, decent backline, but other people have built up more and are just able to get through. 1 life left, and we're the bottom of the health charts. Now, I was originally hoping to save my champion duplicator for a 5 cost, like getting a 2-star Urgot, but with 1 life left, I need all the power I can get, and bringing Morgana up to a 3-star, that's going to help a ton. That little extra boost out of Morgana is just what the doctor ordered. They happen to get a rocket-propelled fist, pulled my Ezreal out of the corner, but we were able to overpower them, and that led us into the top 4. Our final 2 official item choices, and I say it that way because we still have the Underground buff. We get the Jeweled Gauntlet for Aurelian Soul, and then the Infinity Edge for Ezreal, Ultimate Ezreal that is, because remember, he is AD, and he's also getting Sure Shot bonus. The last time we met this team, they knocked us out, but this time we have a Fiddle, which allows our Samira to survive, and she will take out anything that is knocked low, and Aurelian Soul does an excellent job of getting things low for her to clean up. This next team also did a lot of damage to us because their Ezreal threw a rocket grab fist to Renekton. This time it's the Collector that goes onto Yasuo, which means Ezreal and Samira get to stay in place and continue doing damage. That's going to be extremely helpful. As you can see, Ezreal's ult, Aurelian Soul knocked them low, Samira finishes it off, leading the damage charts. Now what's nice is that gives us enough for 1 final cut and run, so we get an additional item here, which in this case gives us a locket that we can now use to make the front line a little bit stronger. Finally, Gary steps up to the plate, gives us our 2-star Ezreal and our 2-star Fiddlesticks. And with the other two teams fighting each other, we have to deal with the Ghost Champion, but it'll give us a good preview of what is to come. But our team is now a lot stronger thanks to 2-starring key champions like Fiddlesticks, who provides such great distraction, and with Thrill of the Hunt it keeps us alive and allows us to survive, so that this is now a 1v1. And we are facing off against a duelist team with a 3-star Fiona with the Grand Junction augment, which is really strong. Person here super cool, says GLHF, heading into the final match. I say good luck, GG either way, and it's well played no matter how this turns out. We're just really strong. Fiddlesticks can provide so much distraction. We have a 2-star Leona, the 3-star Morgana, and ultimately Aurelian Soul just cleans house, and it's GG for everyone. Hope you enjoyed this first part in the trilogy, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day.